Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Biz Besties here on My Aligned Purpose podcast. We're your hosts, Nicole and Kaila. We're going to be talking to you all about common money mindset blocks, and they're not what you think they are. But before we get into it, Kaila, what are you grateful for?
Today, I'm grateful we live in the same place. We live in the same city. People always ask us that when they first get to know us. Do you guys live close to each other? We used to live closer, but now we're half an hour away, let's say. And we have been spending the last couple of days together, writing our book and getting the energy of what we want for the next 6 months. And it's not as fun to meet on Zoom all the time. It's more fun to meet in person. So I'm grateful for the availability of that, and I wanna commit to doing that once a week from now on.
I love that.
What about you?
Shout out to one of our Aligned CEOs, Sarah Lambert. You can find her if you're not following along her journey at Sarah the Counselor. Sarah sent me a message this morning and said, "Hey, I'd love to offer some feedback about how you are providing tracker feedback." And it was an opportunity to pause and reflect about how we can do this better, more efficiently. And so I appreciate her coming forward and I appreciate all of our clients so much. But it really got you and I thinking. And now I'm more excited about how we're going to deliver client tracker feedback than what we've been doing previously. And I wouldn't have had my wheels spinning thinking about that if she hadn't presented that. Hey, have you thought of doing it this way?
Yeah. Thank you for the feedback, Sarah. We are changing things up. So Aligned CEOs, stay tuned, and we'll be granting you another product in Kajabi, and you can listen on the go.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. Okay, so common money mindset blocks that aren't really what people necessarily think of. We're going to be talking more along the lines of the energy of money, the frequency of wealth, the vibration of what it means to be a person who is open and available for money. And Caleb, before we even start to talk about these mindset blocks, want to talk about frequency of wealth?
We created the Frequency of Wealth bundle, and we're offering it to all of you. You can go to myalignedpurpose.com/FOW for Frequency of Wealth and get access to it right now. The first thing you're going to see in it is the 30 days wealth ritual challenge. So it's a calendar and you can start it on any day. And we want you to do a wealth ritual every day for 30 days.
Mhm.
That's your first challenge. And then inside of the product, as we like to call it, inside of Frequency of Wealth, you're also going to get a video from Nicole explaining about an NLP technique called anchoring. So we'll give you that and you can practice anchoring. There's some information on scripting in there as well. And then we've dropped 5 or 6 audios in there
Mhm.
that are audios that you can listen to daily. You can pick it on your Frequency of Wealth calendar. And you can pick an audio for every day on your wealth rituals calendar and get into the energy of building wealth, of having more money, of having availability of money. And really like one of them, specifically my favorite, is the dream state of what you would have, how you would be if anything were available. Audio always unlocks it for everyone. So that's in there. And guess what? It's totally free. We created Frequency of Wealth bundle as a download for you, completely free. Get it now.
Yeah, and I want to talk about why frequency of wealth, because so often we talk about Aligned CEO method, or we've been talking about She Leads, or we'll talk about the podcast or a book or whatever it is. So why frequency of wealth? And it's because it comes up everywhere. The
Yes.
conversation of money and energy within business it's one and the same. We work with six-figure and seven-figure business owners, and we've truly realized, because we get the data every week from them, that it doesn't matter how much money you are making or feel like you're not making. It's not about the system and the structure. It is 100% of the time about your energy around the money. We'll have people talk to us about, like, why is this thing not working? Or what could I say differently? Or whatever it might be. And then we're like, oh, it's actually your relationship to money. It's
Mhm.
your relationship to receiving. It's your relationship to charging. So that's
One of the things that I want to address right away is that we hear our clients, but we hear it everywhere. And we do it too. I mean, everyone's guilty of this. is observing something from our perspective, telling a story around it, and then expecting the result to be different than the story we're telling ourselves. For example, to put this in really concrete terms, we heard a couple of days ago someone saying that they wanted 40 people in their course. And they launched their course and they wanted 40 people in. And in fact, 20 people had signed up. Now, the launch period wasn't over, and we think that's amazing. Shoot for the moon and you land among the stars. It's the first time they've put out this offer. They have a warm community, a warm following on Instagram, quite a big following, and a pretty good email list. And they're still asking people the end of May, right before summer, to show up and commit to something that is during whatever timeline. It's near the end of the school year, so who knows what's going on for people. So they have 20 people. And they wanted 40. That 40-person expectation was set randomly based on what they wanted. And even if it was based on a percentage of your list, you can't tell the future. So it is what it is. They wanted 40. They're setting that bar. They got 20. The story they're saying is people aren't signing up. It's not happening fast enough. Nobody wants this. It's only this number of people. This number of people is not what I wanted or why I launched this. They're complaining, and we're seeing it objectively from the outside. So we're like, that's why people, like, the energy is it's not good enough, and that's not an attractive vibration. Okay, we can all see, like, the listeners can hear it, we can see it, but I understand how when you're in it and you've set expectations based on whatever you've set them on, and the expectations aren't being met, you could start telling that story and going down that spiral. However, we want to point out to you the vibration, the frequency of not good enough, I'm not grateful for this, it's not enough people, should I even do this again? That vibration does not match with an overflowing number of registrants. It does not match with an incredible amount of cash in the door. It matches with, this is not what I want, over and over again. So we want you to pay attention to the energy that you're putting out around expectations of an offer or expectations of something you're selling versus what's actually happening. Because we want to point out, and we always do to our clients and to other people who share launch results with us, if you had 10 people in your house, extra people over for dinner, you'd have to plan that. That would be a lot of humans standing in your house that you'd have to offer drinks to and make sure that the dinner's hot when it comes out and have some dessert and have a babysitter for your kids and a backup plan and the whole thing. That's a lot of people, let alone 20. Okay, those are human beings who have decided you can solve their problem and you're going to work with them to help them get results. And then once that happens, they are going to tell their friends, because we naturally all share everything all the time. And then their friends are going to say, hey, I have that problem too. Let me see if this person can help me solve it. And that is how you get the momentum going. You do not get the momentum going by saying, this is not good enough. I can't believe this is happening. And now I'm going to quit. It's like completely opposite vibrational energy to my business is important to me. I'm here to serve. I'm making it happen.
And we address all of this in the frequency of wealth bundle. We're like,
Yes.
okay, you are picking up that your energy is not as high as you would like it to be. Can you take 5 minutes and go listen to one of those audios and raise your vibration? We've never ever had somebody listen to a money audio or a money meditation that we've made and say, that didn't shift my energy. Like we design it with NLP, with reprogramming your subconscious mind, because that's the work you have to do every day as a business owner to tap into the frequency of wealth, to feel good with your energy when you're calling aligned clients in, to make your business more and more profitable. You have to put aside time every single day to focus on your energy. And so we're solving that problem by giving you this bundle, and you get to choose every day. This is the one I want to listen to today. This is the activity that I'm going to do today.
Yes, absolutely. When we were making a huge money decision recently, we had to choose, and we heard it on Lori Harder's podcast when she interviews David Guillaume, and they're talking the whole time about choosing faith over logic. And that resonated so much with me. You should go listen to that podcast. Sign up for Frequency of Wealth. Get the bundle. Get into the energy of faith over logic, because For example, with the person I was just talking about who had 20 people and wanted 40, they have to have the faith that if they keep going and serving, their business will continue to grow. All they have to do is show up and serve and control what they can control, and other people will share the information and share the transformation, and you can even share back the transformation. That's what you're in charge of, is showing up and serving. And that is what you need, so much faith to make that happen. And then logically, it all starts to unfold. But logic comes after. If you're bringing a big vision to life and it's scaring the shit out of you, then you need to lean on faith. And that's how you can continue to grow it. And then in no time at all, you'd be like, oh, logically, this makes sense. People are buying and they will continue to buy, and I'm delivering, and this is a tested product. But in the beginning, when you're making a big decision, we have to lean on faith.
And talking about leaning on faith and tapping into your energy, I think that this goes so well into one of the next things that we hear or see, or we've even experienced ourselves, is this fear around having sales conversations. And fear carries an energy. So I just want everybody to pause right now. And if we were to say, how do you feel about having sales conversations? Notice how you feel. That feeling carries an energy. Do you feel excited? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, this is easy, I can do this with my eyes closed? Or do you feel a little bit of nervousness, doubt, lack of confidence? Like all of those things that you might be feeling or describing all have an energy. And so, since sales are the number one way we make money in our business and grow our wealth within our own personal life, we need to work on our energy of how we're showing up and thinking about making a sale. Now, making a sale doesn't always mean you have to hop on a sales call. And it doesn't always mean that you have to close a sale in the DMs, or like that you necessarily have to have a conversation. Lots of people have passive products, or we can even imagine where we might go into a clothing store and nobody has to talk to us. We know what we want, we go buy it, and that's it. They've made the sale. But what we're specifically talking about in this conversation is your energy around making a sale, like actively making a sale. Because when we, again, look at our clients' trackers, this is what we do for all of our aligned CEOs every single week. We ask them to fill out a series of questions on Friday, and we respond to them on Monday. And one of the questions, only one of 9, says, how much money did your business generate this week? And sometimes we will read upwards to, last week, we saw somebody put 32,000 down for what they made in the week. We'll see people make around 20, 25,000, 15,000, 12,000. And then pretty common around like, I don't know, 2,500 to 6,000 a week. Those are good numbers. And then we have people who won't fill it out, or we'll have people who will put a number that they think is relatively low and then leave a comment and say, I know this should be higher, or I didn't actively work towards making a sale this week. That's why the number says this, or whatever it might be. And again, what we can, because data doesn't lie, when we connect the dots, and the first question says, what are you proud of? And the second question says, what did you learn this week? And then the third question says, what will you do differently next week? Before I look at the number, before you look at the number, we can take a pretty good guess at if that number is going to be something they are proud of or something that they wish was higher, based off of the energy we gather from the first few responses. What are you proud of this week? I'm proud that I put myself out there and networked and got into a new room, or whatever it is. Or if the response says something like, I'm struggling to find something that I'm proud of for myself this week, I know those numbers aren't going to be high. The energy is matched. How you choose to show up, the conversations you're willing to have, the rooms you're willing to put yourself in, the follow-ups that you're willing to go out and get after, the work, the offers, the creations that you're willing to dedicate to in your business, that's all energy. And then when we get to the number part, it's like, we don't judge those numbers. We don't look at them and say, this number's good or this number's bad. We just look at, oh, that tracks based off of the energy of their previous questions.
100%. We know from being in business and from different people's types of businesses and how different people get paid. When we open that, we're not expecting anything.
No, there's no expectation.
Yeah, unless we've been working with somebody for 2 years and their tracker always says a relatively same amount, and sometimes it spikes and sometimes it doesn't or whatever, like, we can guess what's gonna happen from that. But there are no expectations on the business or the person from our perspective to say we don't look at it and say, "Oh, no, you only made $6,000 this week." We look at it, and whatever you are celebrating, we celebrate. There's more where that came from.
Mhm.
This or something better, always. That's the energy that we are always bringing to it, 100%. And that's the energy we're bringing to our business with our sales as well. Not to say that we don't dip sometimes. Let's say if we get a hard no, like it's hard to hear, or if we really wanted to work with someone and that didn't work out, or we were going to work with someone and something fell through. Okay, we're human. There are disappointments, there are ups and downs. But for the most part, we can feel that, let it pass through, and then be in the vibration of anything is possible. It's all always coming to us. Miracles are available because we've trained ourselves to think that way. Remember when it was hard to think that way?
Mm.
Maybe in like 2022, 21, 22, when we were really pulling it all together and we had to shift our mindset from an employee mindset, which is so ingrained, and from a limited cash flow mindset, which is ingrained from society and family and everything as well, to sales every day, leads every day. Everything is possible. We're open to having multiple 5-figure, 6-figure months, 6-figure launches. We had to shift our mindset to this one moment is not determining the outcome of the whole thing.
Yeah, and to tie it all into the expectation piece again, yeah, our expectation is that our clients fill out the tracker. Give us something to work with. We want to know what's happening in your
Yeah.
business. That's helpful. What you put in the tracker, we don't have an expectation of. And there's not a reward system for, oh, they're proud of themselves this week
Mhm,
and these people aren't. Everybody gets feedback and everybody gets coaching as
mhm.
long as they fill out the tracker. And speaking of not having expectation, but having intention rather, and talking about sales every day, rather than you and I being like, okay, we're going to set an expectation. Like even the word expectation doesn't feel great. Again, if we talk about energy, it's ooh, like it's I don't know, it's a little bit restrictive. If we were to say we're going to set an expectation of we've got to make sales every day, that's the expectation. I
Mhm.
don't know, that feels a little bit restrictive, a little bit contractive. And then it's what feels more expansive. Let's set an intention to see if we can make sales every day. And there is nothing I think I love more than opening up Slack to our sales every day channel and seeing surprise sales come through. Yes, we'll see monthly reoccurring payments for Align CEO method or cash flow or these sorts of things. But when somebody buys like a random thing off of our website or that's pretty much what it is when somebody's buying something random. I'm not like, "Oh, that's only $12 today." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's working." The intention of being in the energy and the vibration of sales every day is what feels good. There's not an expectation on it has to be this much every single day.
Yeah, the intention of celebration.
Yeah, the intention of celebration. Okay, so then this makes me think if we go back to 2021 version of us and working through these things as well. Okay, so I just want to close this loop on the fear around having sales conversations. Again, we're solving this problem all day, every day. You can start with the frequency of wealth bundle,
Mhm.
and you're going to feel better and better about the business you're in and being a magnet to wealth. And then, of course, inside of Align CEO Method, we do sales trainings and sales conversation talks. We talk about sales a lot inside of Align CEO Method because
Mhm.
we know that's the number one way to make money in your business. So let's solve that problem. Inquire about Align CEO Method, fill out the application if you're ready to start to take your business seriously and make more sales. It's all an energy game. You don't,
Absolutely.
yeah, you don't have to come with us with sales training. I didn't have any sales training. You did, but I didn't have any. And what you and I are both realizing, like you have the actual training. And when we apply actual training with feeling really good about our confidence of making a sale and showing up and how we're of service to somebody, that goes so much further than just, I've got the training, but I don't feel good about it.
Oh, yeah. There's lots of people, especially in fundraising, let's say, where I got my sales training. There's lots of people who have the same training as I do, but they're not closing
Mm.
the gifts or whatever, they're not closing the sale. The whole thing is that When you can match what you have with a problem somebody else has, and then you can solve that problem, it feels so good for everyone. Everyone says, "Yes, please solve my problem." And you say, "Okay, here, I can solve it." So if you're having a sales issue, just a little tip at the end of this part of the episode, you need to solve a different problem, or you need
Mm,
to get better at solving that problem and articulate how you can solve the problem better. And then sales will be easy because people need what you have. We
mhm.
talk about that all in Align CEO, though. Okay,
Yeah.
next step.
Next up, imposter.
Yeah, the next step is imposter syndrome, and imposter syndrome around charging money. And we see this from multiple different directions. So, your skill set is directly related, is your energy is directly related to how you can help someone for an energy exchange of money. That's the whole thing. Now, if your skill set is low, like for example, when we were in coach training, we had to practice coaching. Nicole and I practiced for hundreds of hours for free. And we paid the university so that we could, and CTI, we paid the coach training program so that they could teach us how to coach train. And then we practiced, and then we created a business out of it and charged. And at the beginning, we were charging like $200 an hour. And then we bumped it to whatever it was, 250, and then eventually 497. And then it was 1997 for 4 calls with us. And we did that for a while, and then we're like, "Okay, we wanna stop trading dollars for hours and do a group program," which is what we help people with in Align CEO method, is move from one to one to many. Now, in the one to many, sometimes it can feel like, wow, we're delivering this thing for this price point for everyone, and we deliver it once, and then we get paid the multiple times, which is awesome. But maybe there's some imposter syndrome or worthiness that comes up for you when you hear that or around that. And we want to invite you to think about how you are worthy of scaling your business. Once you have the skill set and you love it, how you're worthy of scaling your business, you're worthy of employing other people, you're worthy of getting that money into circulation, whether it's investing, spending, saving, giving, whatever that is for you. You are worthy of this big life. You have to get started. You have to get really good at what you do. And the only way to do that is to take action. You can have also the only way is all mindset, but you have to take action on getting really good at what you do. And then imposter syndrome can start to dissolve because you're taking the action to build your confidence.
The whole, like, big cherry on top of all of this imposter syndrome talk is that everyone is out here trying to figure out, like, what is their relationship with money and why does it feel like it's not available for them? And if I just had more
Mhm.
training or if I was just more confident or whatever it might be, when really your relationship with money is really a relationship with energy. It's a relationship with your own energy. Again, coming back to how are you setting your day? How are you starting your day? What's the intention for how you start your day? So that you can move through your day with confidence and then take different action. And then imposter syndrome doesn't even show up. Like you and I were chatting before this, and we were like really trying to tap into a time where we felt like an imposter. And we can't really think of anything. I don't know. It's not available there for either of us. However, you and I are also so intentional about how we start our day. For example, if we're talking about how to set your day with intention and to be in the frequency of wealth, we don't necessarily always follow the 30-day calendar, but that's because this is our life. This is how we
Mhm.
live. It's just who we are. For those of you who are listening and just getting started, start with the 30 days and then move into this is just who you are. Like you have it so that every single day you're doing your abundance workbook.
Mhm. Yeah, I do. Manifesting money is one of the great passions of my life. And when I was driving to your house this morning, I was thinking, wow, I love thinking about how we can make more money and then all the good that we can do with that money for ourselves, for others, for our community, the circulation. We paid our videographer from She Leads. He has a growing family. And then he gets that money and he can do whatever he's doing with it. It's so awesome. We get to be in relationship with money that comes through us and circulates out. It's super cool. Now that I was thinking when you were saying that about imposter syndrome, I have felt it before, but it was in fundraising. And it was when I was wearing clothes I was pretty uncomfortable in, like suits all the time. I was trying to learn how I could be someone else in a meeting, namely someone when I was like 25, someone who was 50, who had this totally different experience, totally different generation. And that's how I was being trained to talk to donors. And I was uncomfortable. I felt like I wasn't good at it. I felt like, why would they even want to have a meeting with me when they could meet with someone who's older than I am or more experienced or whatever that is? Or, and also, like, as soon as you say you're a fundraiser, people are, "Ooh, I don't have any money," and run away. So that wasn't a very good vibe. And I stuck with it and I got much better at it. I did get really good at it and I did all the training and everything. But in the beginning, I felt really impostery. And I never felt when I looked at myself in the mirror in that job, like I'm supposed to be here and I know what I'm doing. But
Mm.
then when I went to coach school and we got together and we started My Aligned Purpose, I don't have those feelings anymore because I get to be myself. So perhaps the imposter syndrome bit is that you're trying to be someone else. And really, who you need to be is exactly yourself in this moment and serving people in exactly the way that you can help them in this moment. And then understanding that with the exchange of their energy to you, and then you get to circulate that energy, that money outward and to all the other places that you want to circulate it. That's how it all goes around. You're solving a problem for them, they're solving a problem for you, you then help somebody else. And that's such a better mentality than wear this outfit you feel uncomfortable in. Go in and solicit that person for this thing right now because we need to fill this pipeline. Like that just so wasn't me. And that's where I felt uncomfortable and not myself. Mm.
Yeah. And when you feel aligned in purpose, when you feel like you're on purpose and
Yeah.
you're in alignment, again, it's all energy. You'll be
Mm.
like, oh, this feels good. If you want to know, if every single person listening to this episode, where your energy is at on a scale of feels good, doesn't feel good, ask yourself this question. Does this person, place, experience, or thing expand me,
Mhm.
open me up? I'm available
Yeah.
for more? Or does it contract you and make you feel like you're going in, make you feel like, ooh, I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to be around
Uh-huh.
this person. I don't want to feel this feeling. I don't
Why do
want
I
to
have
move
to
forward
wear
with
that?
this. Yeah. If th- that's all there is to energy with anything, everyone, trees, birds, people, everything. It's either expanding or contracting. Our heart is expanding. Our lungs are expanding when we take a breath in, and they're contracting when we take a breath out. And not that having an exhale is bad, it's amazing. But what I'm saying is that's the motion of life, expand, contract. And the more that you can open yourself up to expand more and more, because it's totally possible to receive more and more, you have to be able to identify in every single moment that you stop and reflect. Oh, am I open to receive more, to more expansion right now? Or am I contracting and really starting to shut down?
Yeah.
Like that question will move mountains for you.
Yeah.
And
Expansion, contraction.
I know lots of people listening to this, when you think about money, like that's a great set point of when you think about money and having more and more money, does that expand you? I think initially most people would say, yeah, of course I want more and more
Mhm.
money, open to receiving more and more money. And then we're like, okay, then how come you're not starting the business? How come you're not asking for the sale? How come you're not raising your prices? How come you're not doing XYZ or being XYZ? They're like, "Oh," and then the fears come up, then the doubts come up, then the excuses come up. It's okay, so actually how you feel about money comes with a long list of feelings or experiences that are quite contractive,
Yes. Yes.
not
And how can you
magnetizing.
yeah, and how can you start to dissolve those, resolve those? Yeah, absolutely. So we want you to hop over to myalignedpurpose.com/FOW or just go to myalignedpurpose.com or the link in our bio on Instagram and grab our newest freebie, which is going to be absolutely game changing. It's called Frequency of Wealth. It is free. Go download it, get the product, and start your 30 days of wealth rituals now. It's going to be so much fun. We love it. We use it. And while you're doing that, we want you to ask yourself these questions. reflecting on what you've thought about during the episode. Have you ever noticed yourself making financial decisions out of fear?
And that can be like the smallest thing. Oh, you went and bought a latte. And society says that us millennials should stop buying matcha lattes so that we can afford our homes. It's no, you do not need to buy your coffee in fear.
Yeah. So, have you noticed yourself making those decisions out of fear? And do you want fear to run the show? Are you open to abundance running the show and how you can create more of it? The next question: what could change if you truly believed that you deserve big wealth? What would
Mhm.
change?
Yeah, and I think what's cool about that is it's pretty open-ended and you can
Mhm.
define what big wealth means. And I would encourage that everybody, whatever your initial thought is, if it's, oh, 1,000,000 a year, I want you to think, what if 1,000,000 a year was your floor, not your ceiling? Oh, absolutely. Like I cannot make any less than 1,000,000 this year because that's my new standard, my new set point. Then it's, oh, okay. If I'm settling at 1,000,000 a year, what's above and beyond that? Is it 3,000,000? Do you keep going? What does that look like? And maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you can't allow yourself to go to 1,000,000 a year, but you would say, okay, my initial thing is like big wealth is 500,000. Okay, that's your new standard. That's the low part of the bar. You don't accept anything less than that. What happens when that's your new standard?
Yeah, who is that person who makes 500,000 a year? Who do you talk to? What do you wear? How are you acting? What kind of opportunities do you have that you don't have right now? And how can you start living into that?
Yeah, yeah. Who are you being? Okay, and then the third one is, how do you currently talk to yourself about money? And, like, the caveat to this is that you're probably talking to yourself about money quite a bit because we're
Mhm.
having internal conversations or thoughts all day, every day. And oftentimes we're being consumers, we're buying things even at the grocery store. You pop out, you grab something from the grocery store or the market, or you're putting something out there for sale. Like, the money dialogue is going all day, every day. What are you noticing that you're saying to yourself about money? What you should spend, what you should save, what you should earn, what you should invest?
Yeah, what would be outrageous to spend on, like, let's say apples? This morning, I got some apples for our co-working day. I actually didn't look at the price. But what would be outrageous for you? I know if I do look at the price and it says like 3.99 a pound, I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." Okay, so what would be outrageous? That's obviously my apple ceiling. And what's, whoa, I can accept that. And then you can apply that feeling of, wow, I would never pay this for this amount of thing, this for this thing. I never would. What happens if you did? What
Yeah.
happens if maybe you can afford it or you could afford it if you had the business that you want to have, that you're willing to build, and then you can have what you want and even more?
Mhm.
What happens?
Yeah, I am in such a mindset and I love being in this place of there's more and more abundance. If I'm going to
Mhm.
spend $4 a pound on apples, again, I don't look at the prices either cuz I'm just like I want what I want and I'm in full trust and belief that money is in circulation. If I go and spend $12 on 4 apples today, $12 isn't gonna put me out for sure, but let's just say I'm thinking about a really large purchase, something that
Yeah.
I consider large. I'm in such a mindset or belief of, yeah, and of course that's gonna come back around tenfold. Like, I can earn more, I can manifest more, I can attract more, I can magnetize more. I'm not walking around thinking like, "It's finite. This is it. When I spend this money, no more is coming in." And I think that is such an incredible place for everybody to get to of believing that money is like air. Just because I breathe lots of oxygen doesn't mean that there's any less for you. It's like we all get to take up space. We all get to breathe the air. We all get to make a lot of money and spend it however we want or save it or invest it or whatever. But truly being in the belief that it's just energy, it's
Mhm.
circulating.
Yeah. This is the work, everybody. Okay, we're so excited. Go grab our Frequency of Wealth bundle. We made it just for you. It's in the DMs on Instagram, so you can find the link, or
It's in the
it's
show
in one.
notes.
It's in the show notes. It's in our link in bio on Instagram. It is on our website. You name it, you can find it. Frequency of Wealth. And if you really are having a hard time, you can send us a DM and we'll send it over to you. We're so excited for you to get the Frequency of Wealth bundle and create your 30 days of wealth rituals and start building up your stack and your cash. Woo!
Good. Okay. We'll be back next week, everyone. We look forward to seeing your journey of working through the Frequency of Wealth bundle. Take some photos, tag Myline Purpose on Instagram. Let us know that you're working on it, what's coming up for you. Yeah, we can't wait to see it all.
Okay, we love talking about money.
Bye.